All right. Hey, everybody. Happy Make Your Move Monday. This is Latrice McFadden coming to you live all the way from Durham, North Carolina with, I guess you can see my special guest, Miss NCCU alumni candidate, all the way from Nightdale, right?
Yeah,
Nightdale, North Carolina.
coming from Nightdale, exactly.
My fellow realtor, my fellow realtist by choice, my fellow Divine Nine sister, and just a great overall person. I remember meeting her and just always such a good spirit, positive attitude, willing to help. So I wanted to invite her on today to share a little bit about this event or activity campaign. I don't know how you want to describe it, so that we can propel her forward and support her and can't wait to see her be announced as the winner. So, Stephanie, thank
Yes.
you for joining me. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? How you got started? All
Got
this stuff.
you. Got you. Well, first off, thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to even talk about this platform that I have in the campaign that I am running for. So, a little bit about myself. Again, my name is Stephanie Wilson Jones, and I am a realtor here in the Raleigh Durham area, also a realtist in the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. I'm a part of Tribor with you, Latrice. Um, as you stated, graduated from North Carolina Central University, of course, class of 2004. A proud member of Delta Sigma Theta. So shout out to my sorors and Delta, and then of course all my D9 sisters. I appreciate y'all as well. Um, I've been living in the area for about 15 plus years, back in the Nightdale, Raleigh, Durham area. So just this is kind of where home is for me. Um, so just doing this. My dad was military, so I'm what they would consider the Army brat. So Central, when I first enrolled in Central in 2000, that was the first place I ever lived more than 3 years. So every 3 years of my life, I was moving constantly. Um,
Mhm.
so when I finally got to NCCU, that was the first place I've ever lived more than 3 years. So of course, I did my 4 years at NCCU and graduated in class of 2004 with a bachelor's in business administration with a concentration in marketing.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you did that, did you know you were going to be an entrepreneur, or where did you go straight out of school?
So I didn't. So I didn't know what I was going to do at all. When I first got to Central, I said I was going to run on the track team and I was going to be a nursing major. So didn't either. But that's the enjoyment of going to college. You can figure out who you are and what you want to really do and things of that nature. Um,
Exactly.
so I did not know. I was thinking about doing like on marketing and all those kind of things, and just kind of being that. I told myself I was a big back in the day was like Victoria's Secret was like a thing, like all their big commercials and the runway. I was like, I want to work for them. Like I think their marketing was just sheer genius. Like they just everybody was all in Victoria's Secret back then. So I was like, I'm just going to work for them. I want to do their marketing and just be a part of that. So I just wanted to do whatever it was in the marketing field. I loved doing presentations back then and just kind of getting information on how to market yourself and things like that. So I guess it kind of gave me a stepping stone to where I am now. You know, it wasn't exactly what I was thinking about doing.
Hmm.
It definitely helps me now with my marketing and just knowing how to kind of strategize and how to implement things now. So I really don't need like a social media person or nothing because I kind of already know how that plan works or whatever. But once I got out of school, I just a lot of people don't go to school they went for. They start working and just got to get a job. So that's kind of where I was. I just had to find some work and start and being able to pay some bills because I was an adult. I was grown then, like no more safety net.
Right, right. As my children tell me now, adulting is ghetto. So if you knew, we tried to tell you, right?
You want to stay in school, but you can't. But just enjoy your 4 years while you can. That's why.
Exactly. So one of the things I do on this platform is I always want to encourage people to make your move. Obviously, real estate is the first part, but make your move in life and taking those chances entrepreneurially, whatever it is that your goals are.
Mhm.
So before we talk about your campaign, can we talk a little bit about making that transition into entrepreneurship and any words of advice or wisdom that you can share with people?
Absolutely. So you and I both have a very common because we your my real estate company is Next Move Realty. So
Mhm.
kind of understand that your move. And so my big tagline that everybody who knows me by is make your next move your best move. Um,
Mhm.
and so I'm very strategic in everything that I do. And I feel like entrepreneurship is the same way. Like you have to know your steps. It's you got to prepare. Like this is a field where you just can't fall into. You have to kind of you have to strategize and kind of know what's going to happen and just make it make sense, because if not, you're not going to succeed. So of course with Next Move Realty and just becoming an entrepreneur, life just happens. Sometimes life does happen, and I understand that, but you just have to know how to take it in stride and be able to adjust. And I think with my being a business major, I learned a lot of aspects of business. Of course, I learned about business financing and what other classes? Accounting. Like I took all those courses, so it kind of prepare me in that mindset to become an entrepreneur, even though I didn't initially want to be an entrepreneur,
Mhm.
be in corporate America or whatever the case may be. And I was in corporate America for a while, and then when COVID hit, I lost my job. So I was already in real estate part time. Um,
Mhm.
and when I lost my job, when COVID hit, I had to go full throttle, and then I just had to, of course, make my next move my best move, and that's where next move kind of came from. I just always had to figure out my next steps. Life happens and things happen. From getting divorced to losing a job to taking care of kids to figuring out, okay, how am I about to maintain? I got two people to take care of also as well, you know. So it just all kind of works in stride. So
Mhm.
back to what you asked about entrepreneurship, this that phase helps you prepare and gets you ready for your next steps in life. So
Absolutely. So we can't be paralyzed because life is going to happen and you just got to step out there and do it, prepare as much as you can. And even if the bumps in the road come, you adjust and keep going. You don't
yeah,
stop. So.
yeah, and especially for entrepreneurs, because there's always gonna be something. Like nothing is ever planned like you wanted to. You just have to be able to strategize,
Mhm.
know how to implement, and like you just said, pivot and adjust is the biggest
Mhm.
thing. Yep.
Absolutely. All right. So tell us about this campaign. And you were recognized for at Central. So you were a huge alumni representative. I always see you on there. I know you market your business there. I know that you were 40 under 40
Mhm.
there. So
Yeah.
why Central and then why this campaign?
So why Central? So as I told you, my dad was in the military. So I was like, I wanted to go. I was going to try and go into the Air Force. My dad was a drill sergeant, strict, everything, all the above for me. So I was like, I got to get up out of here. So I tried to go to the military myself, and that did not work. I didn't. Because my medical record, I have asthma, so they were like, yeah, you can't be in the military. And
Mhm.
so I was like, all right, what's next for me then? So I started looking at schools, and I was initially looking at Tennessee State because I was in Tennessee at high school when I was graduating. So I was like, well, I'll just go to Tennessee State. I started hearing about HBCUs. And so I
Mhm.
was kind of like, okay, let me see what this is about. So Tennessee State was kind of at the top of the list. Of course, it was close in proximity. When we found out that I was going to have to pay out of state tuition, my mom was like, absolutely not. And so we found out my residency, my dad never changed it. So we stuck to North Carolina. So I was like, okay. My aunt actually, my aunt went to NCCU, and this is actually her 50 years, so she's about to celebrate being a Golden Eagle. Um, but she told me about NCCU, and she was like, "You just need to come check it out." And so I signed up for what they called back then their EOP, or like their summer program, just to kind of get implemented with the campus. And I just got there and fell in love, and I was like, "Oh, this is where I need to be here." So the rest is history after that. Yeah.
Okay. And then talk a little bit about being just staying involved because a lot of times, and I'm guilty, you graduate, and I didn't go to an HBCU, so maybe that's the difference. But you graduate and you never look back. How did you stay so involved?
So one thing I have to say about HBCUs is the culture. Like you feel like you're part of a family, you're home. Like I just being around our people, our faculty, my staff. Like I had people that invested in me on campus that treated me like their own. Like I have
Mhm.
my mentors, my advisors, like they still talk to me. Like I can go on campus on homecoming, see my professor still, and they'll remember me. Like, and that's a good feeling. You'll be like, "Hey, you remember me?" And they'll be like, "Yeah." Like it's a little foggy at first, but then they'll be like, "I do remember your face." And that's a good thing. I think people with HBCUs, the classroom sizes are smaller, so it's more intimate. So you can be able to, meet your professors. And of course, Central is a smaller school. When I was there, of course, it's grown so well, and I love seeing the growth of my university. But just having that relationship from the beginning just really sees, and then just seeing how much the alumni was involved, like just seeing the homecomings and how many people come back and then
Mhm.
pour back into university, and how people, of course, seeing the Greek life and learning all about that part. Just seeing how everybody's just like, it's just just a glue, like Central, just HBCUs in general, because I know all of HBCU experience, everybody talks about that, but I think that's really what molded me, because I'm I, I'm proud to represent my maroon and gray. Like, that most
Mhm.
people check my social media, I'm a mom, I'm a Delta, I went to NCCU, and I sell real estate and I work out. You pretty much know my whole life, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I think it's just that's something that they just put in you. They want you to be proud of your university because of what we came from. We were,
Mhm.
just like NARAB, we were built off of where we weren't allowed to be in spaces for education.
Mhm.
So they
Mhm.
want you to be proud of who you are, and when you leave here, to lift as we climb. So they definitely, and NCCU's motto is truth in service. So
Mhm.
that's what Dr. James E. Shepard, he was very well on making sure we had truth in service in our university. We had to give back to the community. So before we graduated, we had to have community service hours. And we
Mm.
had to meet a community service goal. So you couldn't just, of course you went to school, but we also had to have community service hours in on top of our just our regular GPA curriculums that you would have to do. So I think just doing that stuff and really seeing the pride, and you go anywhere and people see your NCCU, like all that stuff really kind of just put a fire in me. And I was like, I want to continue this and share this with my children and share this with whoever will listen. Um,
Mhm.
just because it's just like anybody, but it's just deeper when it's at HBCU for whatever reason. Yeah.
I can completely relate to that because all three of my children went to HBCUs. I have a Spelmanite and two Aggies.
Yeah.
So, and I wore my little UNC sweatshirts, but I'm telling you, I like forever. My daughter was here yesterday when she left. She had on her Spelman shirt. I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
you graduated in 2020, and we still got this Spelman shirt
Telling
on. It's
you, because like you can go to the store, you can go to the airport, you can go here, and people will be like, "Oh, okay." And even if they didn't go there, at least they'll relate and be like, "Okay, I see you HBCU." Or if it's if I see an Aggie, I'm gonna talk junk because that's our rival school. So it's
like,
just that chatter and just that camaraderie between the HBCUs and stuff, and we just all know, we all
mm,
get it, I guess you can say.
absolutely. Yeah, I get it. I wasn't my experience, but if I could turn back time, maybe I would have done it a little differently. But
Right, right.
so let's talk about this campaign and what you're doing and how it can benefit and how people can support you.
Got you. So yes, so I am, of course, as you was talking about, I am running for Miss Alumni 2025, and that is just not a crown title and just like a homecoming queen. It's basically, we're putting in the work and trying to go back and give back to the university. This campaign is part of the National Alumni Association that we have at NCCU. It's the biggest fundraisers for scholarships. So this
Hmm.
is all built on raising money for students at NCCU that deserve funding and that need the funding. When I was in school, I got some funding. I had to get scholarship money, and anybody. I mean, I have a son now that's in school, and of course, he didn't go to NCCU, and that's okay. But I get it. You any bit helps. When you get that bill, you like, oh Lord. So just knowing that you can get some kind of assistance in helping. And so when I was in undergrad, getting that money to help relieve some of that off of my parents, to help me go buy some more books or whatever, and just sometimes just take the strain off of the load that they're carrying. So
Hmm.
I definitely
Hmm.
get it. So with this campaign, we're working to ensure that these deserving students can have some scholarship monies. And then in this climate that we're in right now, scholarships are going away, like Pell grants, all that extra funding from government is not there. My oldest son, I was like, let me go check and make sure I did my FAFSA right. He didn't get no money. Like, I'm like, I know we got Pell Grants and all this stuff last year. So now we're here, and it's like, I'm getting a whole full bill this year. And so,
Hmm.
like, a scholarship would help in these instances. So, just doing that just to kind of help. And so with me, I've been very involved, like you said, since I've graduated, and I got more proactive about it. I wasn't just representing and wearing my shirt, I was like, okay, I really want to start being more involved in learning, because a lot of times people like to complain about certain things, but they're not a part of the solution. And I didn't
Mhm.
keep being one of those persons that talked about how things were going, and I didn't know what was going on. So I can't really speak on something I don't know. So I started getting involved in leadership, joined my local alumni chapter so I could be supportive there. Started working on committees for the university in the alumni association. Now I am a part of I'm actually the region four vice president, assistant vice president, excuse me, for my region, in the leadership aspect. Cause I just want to show people, like, don't just talk about it, be about it. Right.
Mhm.
You can wear a shirt, but are you really putting in the work? And
Mhm.
it takes work. I mean, we still have to give back to the university, just like any other school, any booster club. Everybody knows money is what keeps everything going. So with this campaign, it's just another thing I've added to what I'm doing. I've already been doing the work, and I felt like it was a time, like, it was like, why not? You said that 40 under 40. So if they gave me something and are giving back to me and honored me as this is the least I could do. So
Mhm.
this campaign is really something that is going to really be helpful to these students, and to these parents. I mean, I know they should be able to be grateful for it as well. So that's why I'm doing that, and I'm enjoying it. I'm definitely enjoying it. Yeah.
You've been very creative with the things that you've done to raise the money. So I've been seeing you your fish fry, and I think you had a breakfast and
Mhm.
some
Yeah.
other things.
Yeah, you got to take it back old school sometimes and just do what works. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So, definitely whatever ways that we can find ways to reach people in their audiences. I know people love a good fish fry. So I was like, hey, Nightdale has a great spot to do that. And I was like, I'm still in my area. So I was like, I'm going to do a fish fry. And that went very, very well. Set up to have a scholarship brunch. What else have I been trying to work on? I've done a walk run challenge where you can donate $25 to be in the running, and you can win a gift card on the monthly basis. When I was doing it, but you have to be creative, because people fundraising is hard. I'm gonna tell you that it's another job in itself. I feel like sometimes it's close to begging, but it
For a good cause, though.
it is, but it's tough, because I know, people, it's hard. Like, people sometimes are like, "Hey, I ain't got it." So it's like you got to figure out ways to reach whoever, and just you just got to, because you can't take a no. In real estate,
Mhm.
it knows, but we got to keep on going. And so that's what
Mhm.
this fundraising. Like, you got people that can help. They might be able to help a little bit, a lot, just in between. So just you have to be creative in how to reach people. Marketing, going back to my marketing, things that I like to do. I like to work out. I like to do these things. Clearly I like to eat, because so the fish fry. I like to have a good time. So have the brunch. I'm getting ready to have a party for Labor Day. And just other ideas that I'm trying to figure out how to reach people. I've been reaching out to the actual alumni chapters, reaching out to people directly, emails, like anything you can name it. I've been doing to try
Mhm.
this money. They gave us a hefty goal. So it's myself along with other persons. There's three other ladies that are running for Miss Alumni, and there's two gentlemen. And
Mhm.
they asked us to raise a minimum of 150,000 as a collective unit. So that's a lot of money. So
Mhm. Mhm.
we're working.
And I
We're
think you
working.
don't know where you are
I don't. I don't.
in the race.
So
Okay.
yeah, we get like a little update, but it's like, we get little updates, but it's like you don't know. And if I might know what my number might be, but I don't
Mhm.
know what my competitors' numbers are or anything
Mhm.
like that. So
Mhm.
it's really a true competition, and so it's just like that's why you just got to keep the foot on the neck, and on the gas, and just really keep asking, because if you let up, you know, the other
So
person.
when is it over? When's the last time to donate? And when will you know? When will it be announced?
So it'll be over around the first week of October, and they will let us know before homecoming. So our homecoming is around the 25th of October, I want to say. So we'll
Okay.
find out before homecoming.
Okay. Okay. And so you have these events, you still have some other events coming up, the Labor Day party, and then you shared the link with me, so I'm going to drop that in the chat with how people can donate. And then, like the students, as far as scholarships,
Mhm.
how would they apply? How were they distributed?
So I think they just started posting scholarships are available. if I'm not mistaken, and I can get that information to you. I think the Alumni Association is starting to gear up for next year, because we just started this school year up. So this will kind of the last group that made it did it last year. Their funds are going to these students, and so it'll kind of roll on that way. But definitely go into the NCCU website, the NCCU Alumni Association's website, and looking there for that information. And you just put it in the chat how to donate. But there's different platforms. I have a webpage, www.stephaniewilsonjones.com. That kind of just takes you to one all. It has like a link tree. It has all my information posting up there when my events are, just, just giving people more information about me so that you can know who you're donating to, or trying to help. Um, and then also up there, what else is up there? I'm also thanking people. So if I know who donates, so if you send me a message or be like, hey, Stephanie, I made a donation. I sent you XYZ. I'm putting people in different tiers, and so I'm putting up there thank you. So if you go under your tier, you should see your name under there. So that's at least a way that I can say thank you. Unfortunately, because of HIPAA and the privacy laws with the university and things like that, I can't find out. Like if you send the money directly to the university, unless you tell me, they can't say, "Oh, Latrice McFadden sent you some money" or whatever, just for privacy. So I know some people might be like, "Hey, you ain't said nothing. I donated. It's charged to my heart. It's not me. It's my head, my heart. I don't know. Unless you tell me, I don't know if you made a donation. If you mailed a check in, they don't tell me. They'll just be like, "Hey, you got $100," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And that's all I know. So it's a lot of it's interesting, but I guess I keep it like that too, because it's a a competition, and you don't want to just have everybody's information out there and sharing, because some people are private and
Mhm.
things of that nature, so we have to respect that as well. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, is it any year that can apply for the scholarships, or do you have to be a freshman, or do you
So
know?
their understanding, it could be any year, and they'll just kind of see who needs the help, and where the funding can go. More than likely, they'll probably start with like the freshmen, and if there's money left over. But the one thing about NCCU, we're starting to get really large freshman class, um,
Mm,
so that's a good thing for us. And so I know that the funding there, and I was jokingly with one of my friends the other day, and I said I'm at the age now where our kids are going to college, and I'm just like, wow. And because I just celebrated 25 years last year for homecoming, and we were talking about how, like, yeah, my child wanted to go to Central, but Central didn't offer enough money, so they're going to go to another school. And I was like, that's pretty unfortunate, and I don't want to keep hearing that narrative. I don't want to hear we
mhm.
didn't give enough money. I mean, I know it shouldn't just always be about that, but it is what it is.
Right.
It's sometimes somebody's giving you more money, you gonna go where that money's at. Like
Mm,
I mean, I'm a parent too, so if
mhm.
my son went to school other than A&T, let me stop. Give my child money, yeah, you might want to go where the money's at and where the money resides, as they like to say. So I get it. So just trying to be competitive in that retrospect too, because that's how we keep our enrollment up. That's how we keep our numbers up and stay relevant and stay the prestigious university that we are. By
Mhm.
increasing numbers. So this is just another way to help ensure that we keep getting new eagles in, and they joining the nest, as we like to say.
Absolutely, absolutely. One of our visitors that comes out to a lot of our Tribor events, she's a freshman at Central this year. I'm sorry, I was corrected. I was told that I should call it North Carolina Central University, not just Central.
Yeah,
So let me make sure that
they
I
say
shouldn't
prison,
respect.
and they're actually Central State too. So I guess then I have the confusion. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So with all due respect, North Carolina Central University, which I live just down the street from. I did. My son went there, but he was like, "That's too close to home," so he couldn't apply there. Wouldn't even apply because it was so
yeah.
close to home. But
Yeah, you
I
hear
yeah,
that, but hey,
yeah.
listen,
I
mom and dad,
told him I was like, "You'll be coming home more than I'll be coming over there." But okay,
exactly. Like you ain't
whatever tickles
coming
your fancy, boo.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
so right down the street, very well respected. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law went there, and I have a lot of friends that graduated from North Carolina Central University, and of course, a lot of fellow realtors. Like, don't schedule nothing on football weekend. Don't schedule nothing on
That's a big
homecoming.
no-no. Definitely, that's a big no. Definitely, you're not gonna get see you next week kind of email or message or something. Then
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
serious. I mean, people really this HBCU life is something serious. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
had a listing last year right down the street from Central, and I didn't realize that the day I was doing my open house was a football game, and
mm,
so people were parked. I was like, Lord, I'm not gonna ever sell this house because they're gonna be like, people gonna be parking in front of
yeah,
my
too
street.
busy over here. And then the shameless plug, NCCU actually is the first university to offer a master's program in real estate. HBCU.
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah. So big kudos to NCCU on that. So shout out to the School of Business. I love it. I love to see it. I wish that I would have had that undergrad. That probably would have been something I would have now probably went into, but I love seeing that younger generations are starting to learn about real estate a lot earlier. And so hope this stuff right here help me to help you get your funding, get these kids. So these are gonna be our next leaders of, in our community. So
absolutely,
I'm
absolutely.
also
Yes, ma'am.
yeah.
So, any final words of encouragement for that entrepreneurial track, or and then just final words for supporting you and how we can find out when you win
Right.
because we're gonna be rooting for you.
Speak it in existence. I mean, only thing I can say is make your next move your best move. I'm always going to fall into that. Think about what you're doing. You know, you're not going to be alone on this journey. People have done this before. You definitely reach out, mentor, ask questions. That's it, just in business, life, and beyond, right? And then with this competition, this campaign, please, if you see it in your heart, the information is on the chat. If you need to, reach out, please. I'm on social media, Stephanie Wilson Jones. It's all the same. Just reach out to me. We can figure out how to make this work. But I really appreciate you giving me this opportunity just to even speak about it and just get it more exposure, as we like to say. I appreciate the exposure and this opportunity. So please, if you have an opportunity and you have it in your heart, please make a donation. No donation is too small or too big. We take it all. I'm trying to take this in. So help me out, guys. I would appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm definitely going to be making my donation. And so I want to thank you again for joining me today. I'm looking forward to seeing your name as being crowned Miss NCCU Alumni 2025. Um, so I can cheer you on. So I appreciate you again for joining us. And I always say make your move because every step counts. And we will see you all next Monday. Thanks, Stephanie. Have a great week, everybody.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.